أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود. Surah Burooj is 27 in Revelation after Surah Shams, according to opinion. It's a Makki surah, and they say this is around 5th year of Makkah when Rasulullah started giving da'wah. And it is that time where the persecution of the criminals became severe. From verbal abuse, they became physical. It was that time where they started propagating, telling people that these people have left their forefathers' religion, they have become backwards basically, and they started with full leash of their torment and whatever they did. Yeah. So in this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives warning to those criminals. And remember, yeah, those habits of the Quraysh at the time, it was not just at that time, it's still happening right now. Yeah. And we mentioned all those stages, whether it's verbal abuse, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's psychological abuse, whether it's propagating. Yeah, all those things that are happening. Look around the countries, look any country, they will have all these stages in different level. Wherever you can just ponder over this, yeah, and then you will be able to come to this conclusion that these tortures that are still happening, yeah, it hasn't finished. It's only increased, it hasn't stopped. So basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives warning to these criminals who are at the time they were doing whatever they did with for of Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu. They dragged people, they humiliated people in the streets and so on. That soon the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come and will seize you. So this is basically happening at the beginning. And on this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings an account of a people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala humiliated. And there are various narrations with regards to this. If that narration we were to read is so long that we will finish the entire lesson on that one narration basically. But in a nutshell, what is happening is at the time, long time ago, there were these people, criminals, the leaders, the people in power, and there were other people who were weak in the society. They accepted Islam and they professed their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they wanted to live under Sharia basically at the time. And these leaders, they didn't want that, so they tried to persuade them, but they did not accept. The last resort that they had was to dig trenches, put fire in there, and throw these believers in that as a punishment because they did not obey their commands. So because they did the physical torture, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them. Same thing with regards to the Quraysh. Yeah, so they are trying to persuade the Muslims, going to Rasulullah in lots of different ways to change his ways, but he, of course, is not accepting. The Muslims are increasing and it's going to those big mines. Yeah, the slaves and the young men, they are getting attracted by this new system that's being implemented in the society. And they already have this desire and this burn that they need to bring change in the society. As if you look at the Seerah, you'll be able to see a glimpse of their beautiful habits. Like from them is this treaty that was made by the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I think Zubair bin someone, I forgot his name. His greatest uncle, basically. They made this Hilf al-Fudul or something like that, where they made a treaty that the people will come together to look after the weak in the society, and they will stand up to whoever is the clan. They will stand up against them and they will come together and give the thing. Yeah, so they made this pact for the weak in the society. So they had the desires, they had these goodnesses in them. It was just the situation, they needed someone, they needed like a leader, and in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them a prophet at the time. So they were afraid that it will, like this forest will catch a fire and then it was not going to be able to stop it. So because of that, they now moved on to a different stage, which was physical torture. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them a warning. And in here, another way that these Muslims who are going through oppression, they are reminded that people before you, they went through way more persecution than you, to such an extent that they were burnt alive. Yeah, they were put in these pits of fire. So you need to remain steadfast, and no one is going to be able to change the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the end of this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this message itself, that this is not some sort of a legend book, or it's not some sort of poetry that people say, or like nowadays you see these big huge nasheeds of jihad and so on, yeah, and these people are like blasting the mics and so on. But in reality, this like puchi, yeah, it's like a patake, it doesn't make any sound. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's just words of mouth. It is nothing in reality. There is no action behind it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, making people happy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying at the end, this information that's been given to you, this is not that kind of situation. This is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every single bit of it will come true. Like is بل هو قرآن مجيد في لوح محفوظ. This is like a hint that this information that has been given to you, it is not given to you like you get like a junk mail and then you get a letter from the government directly stamped by, yeah, or it's not like a spam mail, or it's not like a, you know, these Asda voucher things. Yeah, it's not that kind of thing. It's a real thing. So you need to become awake. So this is basically happening in the surah. What is the claim of the surah? What is the main agenda that's going? There's two ways. One is تخويف دنيوي للمكذبين الظالمين, fear of dunya, punishment of dunya for those people who belie and they are oppressors. And as we mentioned again and again, yeah, that do not think that the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be fire coming down from the sky, or this earth splitting and people going down in it, yeah, like Qarun and so on. It's not going to be like this. Yeah, that we are continuing seeing the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout various different ways. Yeah, you can look at even your own houses. If you do not have Quran and Sunnah and the way of Allah implemented in your house, you will see so many different opinions. You will see so many people fighting each other. They will hating. One will be hating uncle, the other will be hating their whatever. Yeah, they will not have good relationship in their family. People will have ego, people have hasad against each other. This is just in the family. Then you will go to your financial issues. People will be struggling with their wealth. Like you check out those poor countries over there, the Muslims lands, yeah, they're going through inflation, they're going through poverty, people are going through earthquakes, floods and so on. What are they? Is that these are just natural disaster according to the people? Is it just the passing of time? No, these are the punishments that are coming on these people because they have neglected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are oppressing the weak and they are giving honor to those people who are oppressing. Yeah, these people who are in power, they are being served like if they are gods. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrath comes on these people. Now the other one is, to put it in simple words, Ubaidullah Sindi rahimahullah mufassir, he says basically the surah is saying Mukhalifin Islam yaqini barbad hai. Those people who are standing against Islam, they are definitely destroyed. Now just to do the breakdown of the surah as we always do, it starts from the three shawahid at the beginning, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَالشَّاهِدِ وَالْمَشْهُودِ. These shawahid, yeah. So you can say four, but we keep is a three, yeah. So it starts from there. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives example of takhwif dunyawi, a punishment that came on a people, ashab al-ukhdud, and Allah mentions 5 of their evil traits, their qabaih, their evil things for which it became its means of punishment. They are asbab of adab basically. Thereafter, the tawheed has been mentioned, that the people who believed in this basically were punished, and those who like the contracts, what were the people who were believing in were punished for, and who punished them was because of this reason basically. Yeah, people, they were hated because they had tawheed. And thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives takhwifi ukhrawi to munkirin from إن الذين آمنوا إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق. Those people who are oppressing these muwahideen, these people who are believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly and sincerely, do not think that you can get away like you can get away in this dunya with so many things. Yeah, it's not going to be all the time. The punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming on you in various different ways. You might don't even realize. You might be going through psychological problem. You might be going through your financial problem, your business problem, and so many problems that will be coming from left and right, and you're thinking it's just normal thing. But in reality, these are punishment and consequences of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that's coming on you. Or the worst of worst, that you are enjoying and you are excelling and you're doing whatever you're doing and you're making a big, huge punishment ready for yourself in akhirah. So these are all sorts of fear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives. Then إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحت الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives glad tidings to those people who held on to this tawheed, even though they're going through so many oppression, through so many issues. Thereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ بَطْشَ رَبِّكَ لَشَدِيدٌ إِنَّهُ هُوَ يُبْدِئُ وَيُعِيدُ وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الْوَدُودُ. And here all the way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives 8 sifat fi'li of Him. That the thing that you're holding on to, you must hold on to it strongly and know that you are in good hands, basically. Thereafter, هَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ الْجُنُودِ فِرْعَوْنُ وَثَمُودَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings account of another 2 nations whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed for their evil issues. Meaning this is not just one-off that has happened in the history, it has happened continuously and you will continuously see it. Like you have seen it even in the Muslim lands, the Muslim Khilafah, like how it's been changed, how it's been destroyed, how we are right now, because of what we are doing, because of our behavior with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is making us taste His wrath in this dunya. وَاللَّهُ مِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ مُحِيطٌ بَلْ هُوَ قُرْآنٌ مَجِيدٌ فِي لَوْحٍ مَحْفُوظٍ. At the end, the sidq or targheeb al-Quran, that this information that's been given to you in this Quran, it is not something that you can just throw it away like you receive a junk mail in the house and then you throw it in the bin. It's not that kind of situation. Whatever has been said, it will come to this reality. Each and every word of it will come true, basically. Okay. So basically 2 things are happening. So we may say so many things, yeah? So let's break it down to simple terms. 2 things are happening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you or giving a threat to every oppressor, every criminal, that the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as well as in akhirah, it is going to happen to you in this dunya as well. You're not going to be left like this and you might be chilling out. You will definitely receive it. Yeah, no matter who they are, look at the history, every criminal, they will be going through so many problems, they will have so many issues. Yeah, so it will definitely happen to you. So you're not getting away from the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one. And the other one is the Ahl Iman, those people, Ahl Tawheed, those people who are holding on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not think that you will be left like this and the help of Allah and the nasr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be served to you on a plate. You need to work for it as well. And if calamities and things come, it's not like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has neglected me in this and that, in this evil situation that you come, that people believe in, yeah? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not honoring us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to these people and so on, and maybe we are in wrong, in that kind of situation. This shouldn't happen. Your iman should become stronger and stronger during these calamities, during these oppression, because at the end of the day, you are doing it for Allah. Just imagine, yeah? But if you love someone, if you really love someone, every single thing that you're going to for them, like people who are coming to UK, yeah? And people who are coming to Europe, how many issues they go on their land when they come by foot? They'll be okay with it. Oh, okay. We are crossing Turkey border. It's okay if you get a few sticks and maybe punishment for a few hours. It's fine. Yeah, they will be okay with it. They will be They will even maybe they will be told if you reach Iran, yeah, and these people will smash you badly and whatever, yeah. But they have reached it and they're going through that. But they know we have at least reached some sort of milestone to our Europe goal, yeah. Does that make sense? Like they have made their determination. So even the oppressions and the things that they're going through, they are okay with it. And they will be fine with it because they know that this is part of the journey. Same thing. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ankabut. أَمْ حَسِبَ الَّذِينَ أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين آمنوا وليعلمن الكاذبين. That do you think you're going to accept, you say you have accepted Islam and there's not going to be any source of calamities, there's not going to be any tests? Certainly people before you have been tested with similar thing, yeah? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it known who is liar and who is truthful in his words, basically, yeah? So these are go in hand. If we said this again and again, yeah, if you do not see any problems when you are learning Quran, when you're implementing Quran in your life, then you should be concerned whether you are really doing it or not. Because you will find people will have to stand up against this. If they do not stand up, you do not see any problems in your mission, if you do not see any problems in you implementing Islam, it means you really got some problems that's going around you. Yeah, you might be making it too sugary, you're making it to according to everyone's taste, so they are okay with you, or maybe you are bending it around, yeah, to like sometimes these people who give da'wah to these people, yeah, they bend Islam message like if it was revealed just for them. Yeah, in reality it is completely different, but they bend it, that these people who you're presenting, they be thinking it was just like our own culture. Yeah, it's not. Islam is different, and you will be able to see people standing up against it. It just goes against the relaxation and the comfort of the people. And if you stand up against people comfort, they will have to stand up against you. Yeah, like we gave example, there are those people who go to, like you tell a friend of yours that that's it, we're not going to be playing on PlayStation 5 anymore for 4 or 5 hours, that's it, we're done. What the guy will be thinking? Yeah, is he going to remain your friend forever? And like, yeah, this guy go a different land path and I go a different path. Yeah, he doesn't play with me and he doesn't go to me with city center. He doesn't go with me to swimming. Yeah, to see things and so on the street. So he got a different path and I got a different path. So this is, I'm giving you a tiny example. Yeah, or you are a person who always speaks truth. Yeah, you always stand up for the weak. You control your tongue, and now you're going around with this abuser on the street. Would you like to be around those kind of people? And it is from your habit to stop them. Yeah, if you were to stop them, that guy will come against you. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah, it is just not, it will not make sense, it will be not right that you are living Quran and you're not seeing anything against you. It will not work that way. This fitna, these trials and tribulation will have to come against you. You will have to see it. Otherwise, what you are doing is not right. There is a problem going on in it. So you really need to ponder over this. Like we mentioned, there is fitna, yeah, like it says in here as well, in ayah number 10. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ فَتَنُوا الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ. This fitna, the ulama said there are 3 different sources where the fitna comes from. Of course, we know everything that happens in this world, yeah, it happens with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mashiyatullah. This is from the will of Allah. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made sources for certain things, yeah. So this fitna, there are 3 different sources basically. One, when you stand up, when you held on to Quran, you want to implement Quran, you will be able to see leaders standing up against you. Or maybe, for example, you want to implement Sharia in your household, and you say this TV is going to be, today is the day of jihad on this TV, you're going to take it out and destroy it. What's going to happen? The one who bought it, he's not going to be happy. So there you go. This is the fitna for you, the leader of the house, whether it's a father, whether it's a big brother, whoever it is, it will be stand up against you. So this is one source of fitna that you need to be ready to tackle when you want to implement Quran in your life. Another is with regards to your own self. You are playing on PlayStation or whatever you're doing here, or so many things that you do in life, or maybe you got this Facebook thing that you watch all the time, or YouTube thing that you have, and so on. Now this is a fitna from yourself. You need to control your own whims and desires. Yeah, this meant to be the first one, the other one was the second. Yeah, so you meant to control yourself, but you do not put any leash on yourself, and you do whatever you do. And it comes in the Quran, وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ. You put yourself in fitna, so you become your own reason for being in a fitna, in a trial or in a test. And another one is directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests people. Yeah, so these are all sorts of tests that comes around you, and you need to be able to recognize, and you need to be able to remain steadfast, whether it is a calamity. For example, someone dies, someone become ill, you lose a job, there is a problem in your household and things like that. You need to remain with Allah subhanahu. You do not lose hope, you do not become hopeless, you do not become depressed, you do not become a person of anxiety. Yeah, that don't. This shouldn't happen to you. You should be able to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Quran. Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. With this Quran, you should be able to get contentment. You should be able to get peace. You should be able to remain still, calm and composed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Does that make sense? So these are basically some of the things. Now, even though there are so many things, but we'll mention one, yeah, one or two things in the linking, and then we'll move on. In the previous surah, it was talking about the sama, yeah, إذا السماء, and in here is was sama, so it's talking about the heavens. And there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about is breaking apart, is destroying and destruction of it. And in here is protection. So one is destruction, the other one is protection. And in the previous surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the situation that's going to happen in the future. Now here is the past and the present, which shows the capabilities and the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the time. So you are all the time, Wallahu mi waraihim muhit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surrounds all the criminals and everyone throughout, whatever the time or passage is, and so on. We'll continue to the surah, yeah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, to whom belong the kingdom, the owner of the throne, the ever glorious, Ar-Rahman, the entirely merciful. He has sent Quran for everyone to take benefit from. Ar-Rahim, the especially merciful. He will take revenge for his pious servants from the criminals, Ashab al-Ukhdud, whoever Ashab al-Ukhdud are nowadays. Yeah. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ, by the sky containing great stars. There are various opinions with regards to this. What are buruj? What is in your translation, Anas? Yeah, so they took, there are various opinions with regards to that these are the groups of stars and things like that. But let's understand one thing very clearly. There you will, when you go back to your own research and you start looking at Tafseer, you will be able to see very strange opinions. One of them is that the sama is being divided into 12 different sections. Yeah, burj. Yeah, bara burj. You have those people who have heard, they have heard. And you will be able to see this in the news as well, yeah? So they say that the sama is divided to 12 burj. This is something made up. This is ajam, yeah, the Arab didn't know about it, and it is something that the Quran does not mention. So we take that opinion and put it in the bin, yeah. So whoever has mentioned it is a wrong thing, yeah. It doesn't have to do anything with the Quran. Now let's come and understand what does Quran say about this. What is burj? One is in the I think Surah Ahzab. وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. Fath or Samarun, Wallah, one of the surah. And there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about to the ladies that they shouldn't come out and their beauty shouldn't be made public, or shouldn't be in the outer world, yeah, like how it used to be in Jahiliyyah. And do not display your beauty as it was previously displayed. So what does that mean? What is burj in here basically would mean is this display of something becoming apparent. So the ulama will translate this ayah, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ, in Urdu it will become سِتَارُ بَرِ أَسْمَاكِ قَسَمْ. Yeah, the stars, the sama which is filled with stars, like I said at the beginning, yeah, by the sky containing stars, great stars. Or does that make sense? So this is one. The other one is that, like you say, Burj Khalifa. You have heard of this, yeah? Burj Khalifa. So this lofty towers or forts basically previously. So you will be able to, they were made, these forts were made as a protection for the city or so on. So they used to make these things. Yeah, and like you see even the churches, they got these long things, so you can recognize, oh, this is a church, this is where you meant to go for prayer, kind of thing, yeah. So these maybe like a symbols or as a protections. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about these as well in the Quran. أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِكُّمُ الْمَوْتُ وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Wherever you may be, death will overtake you, even if you should be within towers of lofty constructions. So both. So if you were to take it, the first one is talking about the stars, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has beautified the sky. yeah, and for the protection of the sky and everything that's out there. This is one. And the other one is that, like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made these forts for the malaika that are currently stationed there, and when the qiyamah comes, or when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs them to do some sort of task, they come out from these forts and do whatever they mean to do. Does that make sense? So both ways we can take it, and both are fine in that fashion, inshallah. And in this, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that Allah has given protection to the sama, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has looked after everything that's above you. Yeah, so what does that mean? That His authority, like how it is in the sama, it has it in the earth as well. So these criminals who are going and showing this oppression, thinking, like, I think it's in Pashto culture, yeah, that to show that you have men, to show that you have supports, yeah, they will say, it's like, I always have, my forts are filled with men, yeah, and that was the same situation. Like, I have people that are around me all time, yeah. Is that mentality? Have you heard this? Like, they will show pride that they have lots of men around them that they can relate to. If they have any issues, people will be able to stand up with them to go, yeah, and do whatever they do. So meaning, my forts are filled with army, basically. So same, they would show this attitude to the weak in the society. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by saying that what is going to be your forts, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has is far more superior, and what He is going to do with you is going to be different. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in a different place, أَمْ حَسِبَ الَّذِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ السَّيِّئَاتِ أَن يَسْبِقُونَ سَاءَ مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. Who do those who do evil deeds think they can overturn, meaning outturn, escape us? Evil is what they judge. وَاللَّهُ مِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ مُحِيطٌ, which is coming later on. But Allah encompasses them from all sides. What's going to be your oppression? What is going to be your holding on to the Muslim, the weak in the society? What is going to be your grip when it comes to the grip of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You will never be able to escape it, basically. And in this, what is like we have already mentioned, yeah, like these stars, yeah, if you say the stars in the sky, the beauty, these stars have witnessed so many nations that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrath came on. So it is only wise for you, O fools, to take heed. Yeah, these stars will witness your wrath as well. Yeah, so this is another way of understanding. Or like we said the other one, yeah, like how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has humbled other people through these malaika, these wraths that's coming, the floods and the quakes and the Jibreel alayhi salam overturning the things on the people. Same thing, Allah will humble you. So what are you? Or like we have discussed this in the previous surah, Allah's destruction, Allah destroying the sama and the earth and so on. If Allah is going to destroy that, this hifazat nizam that He has created, He's going to destroy that which is currently looking after all of you, every one of you, whether they are animals or humans, whatever that is. If He is going to destroy that, if He is going to overturn that, what are you basically? You are nothing in comparison. So compare yourself to the sama. What are you going to be? So it's only wise that you become humble to the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the message that Allah has sent you through this Quran, through Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ, and the promised day, and by the promised day. So they say that this is talking about Qiyamah, and this is from the witnesses, like these are all witness. And why is it called promised day? Like so many times when something is repeated again and again, it becomes like a promise. So and so on, right from the beginning, in these surahs that we've been doing so far, all of them have the mention of Qiyamah, 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 Qiyamah. The Qiyamah is coming, Qiyamah is coming. So this is one way of linking with the previous surah. Or another promise, that this day has been promised throughout the scriptures that has come. Whether it's Tawrah, Zabur, whoever they've been told. Whatever prophet they were told about Qiyamah. Qiyamah is there. So it's been a promise, and everyone knows about it. Whether they are the mushrikun of Makkah, whether they were the Ahli Kitab, whoever they were, yeah, they knew, they believed in the Day of Judgment. The Day of Judgment is coming. Whether they had wrong information with regards to it, but they believed in the day. So this is a promised day, meaning everyone knows about it. And another way of understanding that in this dunya you will be given a taste of it. But sometime when you receive taste in this dunya, it's never going to be to 100%. Yeah, like it could be from the punishment, like we mentioned previously. A killer who is taken and his death penalty is announced on them, they are given some sort of consequences, given some sort of punishment. However, is it to the 100%? No. Yeah, because we have destroyed so many households, we may have killed more people, and so on. So the real punishment, the full, will be given on Day of Judgment, on Akhirah basically. وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ, and the witness and what is witnessed. And here there are so many opinions. If you go to Tafseer Kabir, yeah, by Fakhruddin al-Razi, your head will start spinning. So many opinions, you get tired of even reading it, yeah. But we're not going to mention, yeah, but we just mention like one or two basically. And I was listening to two shuyukh with regards to, one was Dr. Israr Ahmad, rahimullah. He links it with the previous surahs, and it is beautiful the way he does it. And maybe Mufti Ayaz, rahimullah, the one whom I studied with, maybe he was listening to him as well, and he got the same opinion with regards to these. They gave one of this, which is beautiful in its way. So they say basically both of them. Wallahu alam, whoever got it from where, maybe they both got it from different sources. Wallahu alam. Okay, so they say the shahid, let's understand what shahid and mashhood is. Shahid is an eyewitness, and mashhood is that which you witness. For example, someone comes in, yeah, and tell Muhammad, yeah, tell Muhammad to put your phone away, yeah, stop being disturbed and distracted with the thing, yeah. So this one, like Abdullah will come and tells him, and Zulkifl is watching, yeah. So Zulkifl will be the eyewitness. He is the eyewitness, and what he has witnessed is Muhammad playing with his phone. Does that make sense? Is that understood? Or whatever there is an example, but you're just giving you an example, yeah. You're here. You have understood the example. So eyewitness and something which is being witnessed. Is that, are we here? Okay, so shahid is you witness, and mashhood, that thing which you have seen basically. So what is shahid? In this dunya, like it comes in Wailul Mutaffifin, or the previous surah that we have currently done. إِنَّهُ كَانَ فِي أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا, or like they were happy, they were content with their family. On the previous surah, it gives further more details. إن الذين أجرموا كانوا من الذين يضحكون وإذا مروا بهم يتغامزون وإذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم انقلبوا فكهين, and so on, and other places where these criminals who used to pranks, or used to wink, who used to cause troubles and so on to the pious, they would be content with it, and they would be telling other people. So what were they? In this dunya, they were shahid, they were witnessing, and the mu'minun who were going through oppressions, they were being witnessed. Does that make sense? Yeah? Now in Akhirah, the change, complete 180-degree change. فَالْيَوْمَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنَ الْكُفَّارِ يَضْحَكُونَ. What is it? The ayah, subhanallah. In Wail Mutaffifin. Yeah. فَالْيَوْمَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنَ الْكُفَّارِ يَضْحَكُونَ. The mu'minun will be given a relaxation, they will be enjoying the punishment of the criminals, those who did what they did to them in dunya. Does that make sense? So the scenes have been changed. So now the Muslim have become shahid, and the criminals have become mashhood. Is that understood? So shahid wa mashhood, meaning the time that changes. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Sometime you might be thinking you are this big strong man, yeah, and you'll oppress the weak, and then later on those same who oppress weak people will drag you in the street because what you did to them. Does that make sense? Yeah, so this the change of the time. So this is one way of understanding. And there is another one which is very rare opinion. So another opinion is, because witness meant to be something that they have seen things, yeah. It cannot be like وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ talk about Qiyamah. Qiyamah hasn't come, and we haven't seen it yet. So what is it? They say that it is Fath Makkah basically. That's what they say. This Waliyum al-Ma'ud, the day which is promised, is the day of Fath Makkah, and Shahid is Rasul, and Mashhud is Quran. So they are saying that this is what is related to. That Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam will be able to, or this time or this passage that has come, they will be able to see like how the Ashab al-Ukhdud, they were humiliated, they were defeated. Same thing will happen to the Quraysh. They will be defeated, they will be humbled in the feet of Islam. Does that make sense? Wallahu alam. Okay, ayah number 4. قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. Destroyed, i.e. cursed, were the companions of the trench. Like we mentioned, these are those people, and these trenches have happened various times before Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tafseer ibn Kathir bring like 3 of them. but they relate this one to the one which happened in Yemen, which was in Arabian Peninsula, and I think we link that with Ashab al-Fil, yeah, the other surah. So we're not going to go back to it because we don't have time. But this they what it relate to, and this idea of people doing trenches and putting people in there is not something strange. Yeah, do not think that it only happened then. It has happened recently in the histories. You must have heard of mass graves, mass genocides, and it's still happening. Yeah, these people who come and those the oppressor and they oppress the weak. Yeah, so it's still happening and it has happened in the history. And by them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we go to the next time and link it together. النَّارِ ذَاتِ الْوَقُودِ, containing the fire full of fuel. But yeah, in this, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks, that saying the trenches and containing fire, there is like a hint that this legacy of yours, like we had تَبَّتْ يَدَا أَبِي لَهَبٍ وَتَبَّ, yeah, this legacy of yours will continue. You will be punished in this dunya, and the same thing, you are preparing for yourself a trench, which is a Jahannam, which will be filled with fire. Yeah, does that make sense? Is that understood? So this legacy of it will continue to the next world. إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ. Ayah number 6, when they were sitting near it. So this is now the mentality of those people. An example will make it easy for you to understand. Like we have so far on all these surahs, yeah, the people have made an environment around them that they are able to discuss the situation. Like we gave example of movies, yeah, back in the days, yeah, about 20 years ago, and nowadays. If you were to watch a movie, if you were to watch something on VCR, you have to make so many preparations. You used to have security guards and army on the thing, looking after everything before you watch that thing. Nowadays, it's just a norm. Yeah, if you don't watch movies, it doesn't seem like you're going to be a human being. Yeah, you're not going to be able to function in this world. So this is the situation have become. Yeah, so it is something normal because the environment has become in that fashion. So same thing, the people have made the environment in that way. These people that they are enjoying. Why are they enjoying? Why are they in this situation? Like you in an army, there are people whom they give an order. One of them will do it, yeah, they will be reluctant to carry out those orders. Yeah, maybe like oppressing people or maybe shooting someone, yeah, they'll be reluctant, they wouldn't like to do it, but because it's an order, they are forced to do it. Yeah, this is one and way of understanding. The other one is that this person, he's been given order. Before he even given order, he is ready to do it, he is excited to do it, he wants to do these massacres and things like that. Yeah, so they want to do it. So this shows how much filth that there is even in the army. Forget the leaders, what the environment has become. Does that make sense? That these people that are sitting around, yeah, like you must have seen in the videos, yeah, recently, I don't know how long ago, yeah, people were sitting, they had chairs and so on, and there was bombs and things that were bombarded on certain places. They were enjoying that. Yeah, so these people who have become vicious, these people who do not have any heart left, they have become like rock-hearted. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wrath comes on such people. But this is just to tell you, just the normal soldiers of the time, or at the time, how they were rock-hearted basically. وَهُمْ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ شُهُودٌ. And they, to what they were doing against the believer, were witnessed. Then it says يَفْعَلُونَ, remember, yeah, يَفْعَلُونَ and يَعْمَلُونَ. يَفْعَلُونَ is something which is done without any intention, which is done thoughtlessly. So they did not had even a slightest mercy in, completely merciless with regards to what they were doing. They were seeing the kids that were getting burned, the women, the weak, the old men, they were getting burned. They were getting you can just imagine the scenes, yeah, but they were completely relaxed with it. They did not had any concerns whatsoever, and they were carrying on these orders that were given to these people. So it's a vicious way of the way Allah subhanahu described them, and this is not something far-fetched. Yeah, it is not something that you cannot even just look at any history of any country who has attacked a different country and they have did whatever they have done. Look at the history, what they have done. It is so sad. We'll be able to address this, that if you were to think and just point out those things, it is even hard to mention in front of you. Yeah, this is how deep and filth that they go. They become worse than animals. Animals have some sort of mercy on the same kind. Yeah, but these people will do everything. Yeah, you might be able to see this in the history books and things like that. That in the news and things that they even make leave that. Yeah, it's just too much. But these people, when they don't have any mercy, when they don't have any fear of akhirah, they will go to any limit. They will go far above animals. You will do sajda to animals. And when you check out these human beings, yeah, these civilized people, na'udhu billah. Okay. Ayah number 8. وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَن يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ. And they resent in them not except because they believed in Allah, the exalted in might, the praiseworthy. So what was their crime? The biggest virtue you can ever think of became their crime. This was the only reason they were getting tortured. It was not because of anything else. They wanted to live under the rule and sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than again under their barbarism. Yeah? So they wanted to live and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than obeying and praising the leaders at the time and serving them. They wanted to serve the true master. الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد. Ayah number 9. To whom belong the dominion of the heavens and the earth, and Allah over all things is witness. This is like further explanation of what these pious people believed in, what is Tawheed basically. And this is from the attitude of Muslims, yeah, basically. Is, in like these people will be going through these many oppressions and seeing the pious going through so many problems like nowadays. Yeah, look at around the world, the Muslims are going through so many oppressions, even under their own Muslim rulers and so on. They're going through so many problems. And then sometimes when they are going through these oppressions, they will be like, why doesn't the help of Allah comes to me? Why these people are not looked after and so on. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs that everything is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then later on it will come that yes, indeed, وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الْوَدُودُ, that He is merciful, His mercy is vast and He's affectionate, but it does not mean that He will do whatever you desire. It is His way and He will do whatever He does. And your job basically in here is that you believe in Him and you remain with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not come and try to stamp an idea with Allah subhanahu that Allah subhanahu should have done A, B, C, D. Do not think that Allah is your slave. You are His slave. You will live under His command basically. Does that make sense? الَّذِي لَهُ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ. For Him is the dominion, not for you. You do not decide for Allah. Allah decides for you. إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق. Indeed, those who have tortured the believing men and believing women and then have not repented will have the punishment of hell, and they will have the punishment of the burning fire. So there are two punishments that has been mentioned. One is the hell and the other one is the fire. Yeah, because hell is the place of punishment of various punishments. Yeah, it has various different types of punishment, and fire is one of them. And like we said, like how they are treating the pious, like previous surahs, they will be treated in the same fashion. They were mocking and laughing at the pious. Allah make the pious look at them and make them enjoy. Same thing, they are putting the pious people in the fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you will be going to Jahannam, but like what you did in this dunya, same kind of punishment will be given to you with a fire. Does that make sense? Is that understood? So it's everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned is beautiful in its way. Yeah, the fitna that has been mentioned, fatanul mu'minin. Yeah, the fitna in the Quran, it comes in like I think 9 or so many different ways that it has different meanings. Mentioning those and saying that it will be too much for you, and we don't have time. But just one way of that is that those people who slander, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ فَتُنُوا الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, those people who slander, those people who propagate evil things about the pious people, like it happens. Yeah, there's so many things that look at the news. Yeah, we have been given special titles, and we are put like we gave this example. Yeah, a lady with a scarf will be put on the front page news with a coronavirus message. How are they relevant? But because the type of message that is giving the fear and the thing, Yeah, all evil is related to or linked to the Muslims basically. That image has been given to the people. Yeah, so this same thing, this evil propaganda that the people have done against the pious, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrath will come on that, and they link this with those people who say evil things about the Sahaba, especially this group of Shia. Like these are included in these Ashabul Ukhdud. They are the same people who say evil things about the pious, which of they can't be any more pious people than the Sahaba after the Prophets. Yeah, so those people who say evil things about the pious people are inclusive in this. There is like in here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says ثُمَّ لَمْ يَتُوبُوا, yeah, and then they do not repent. In here what is being given? They've been called, yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them a soft touch. That repent, come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the doors of mercy are open to you as long as you want it, yeah. And here Al-Basri, Al-Hasan Al-Basri, he says انظروا إلى هذا الكرم والجود قتلوا أولياءه وهو يدعوهم إلى التوبة والمغفرة. That look at the mercy, look at the generosity and kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while they kill and they do genocide of his friends, and he still calls them to maghfirah, he still calls them to guidance. How merciful your Rabb is, but what is our situation is sad. So now there are other things, but we leave it, yeah. But just remember the word falahum, yeah. Falahum, therefore. Falahum, therefore. The next one will be not therefore. We mention why this is. Ayah number 11. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds will have garden beneath which river flow. That is the great attainment. So falahum is therefore, meaning what they did, they will be given a similar consequences of that. Jaza'a wifaqa, an appropriate recompense for their deeds. Now in here it says lahum, they will be given. So what does that signify? What is the difference? Even the slightest, I just want you to have focus on the Quran, yeah? Even the slightest thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, it has so much wisdom in it. فَلَهُمْ, therefore, whatever they have done, meaning they will be given their consequences. Nothing extra, nothing less. But in here, lahum, it does remove that fa in it. Yeah, it removes this reason for it. It is given from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter what kind of deed one does, it can never be to the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever is being given to us from Jannah, blessings and seek of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it can never be it's rightful, yeah. It is blessing, it is ata from Allah. It is only a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He shows honor to our deeds. It is only from His mercy that we will be able to enjoy those blessings. Otherwise our deeds are never, it can never be. Just imagine, yeah, the deeds of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, where he will be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and deeds of us, can they be same? Never. Can we ever be able to do deeds to his quality? Never. But we will have the same opportunity to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will be able to have same situation where we will be able to go to Jannah. We will be able to take enjoyment from the things, yeah, with those Sahaba and so on. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives from His ata. It is not because of the deeds. Of course, the deeds are requirement. Do not have this mentality, yeah, that the deeds are not needed. This is wrong. The deeds are vital. If you do not have deed, you cannot go to Jannah. Yeah, this is from the Sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mercy will not be shown to you, even though Allah can let you enter to Jannah, but He will not, because this is not from His Sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this a condition that you need to do deeds, that you need to do a'amil salihat. So you must do that. However, do not think because of your deeds you will be entering Jannah. So do not have pride in your deeds in a fashion that they become you gods. You thinking, I have done this, that's it, for me is Jannah. Do not think that, yeah? Does that make sense? Lahum and falahum, this is the difference. Inna batasha rabbika lashadid. Ayah number 12. Indeed, the assault of your Lord is severe. What these people are going to do? What is going to be their capacity when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yeah, like how they have grabbed these Muslims, these weak at the time, that they cannot get away from the grip, they have to migrate. Yeah, this is the level that they reached. They could not have a place of breath. Yeah, this is what they did. Imagine what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do when He has that kind of a capacity, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned at the beginning of the surah. إِنَّهُ هُوَ يُبْدِئُ وَيُعِيدُ. Ayah number 13. Indeed, it is He who originates and repeats. And this is that do not doubt the accountability. And there is a saying that comes, but we'll leave that. That the one who started it, the one who gave you life from nothing, there was no mention of you. You were nobody. Yeah, you did not had any claim over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you need to come to this world to this dad and this and so on. Allah decided that for you. Allah gave you all this life. Do not think, yeah, He has done this, so He will do it again. إِنَّهُ هُوَ يُبْدِئُ وَيُعِيدُ. He will do the same thing. So if He was capable at the beginning, He is still capable to resurrect you. وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الْوَدُودُ. And He is the forgiving and the affectionate. Now, this requires lots of talk, but just to say one thing and then we'll move on. Like how normally in your life, yeah, when your dad is angry at you all the time and he is not taking you out to parks and games and whatever, yeah, he's not giving you pocket money and so on. Sometimes it becomes this thing in your heart that, oh, maybe my dad doesn't like me anymore. Yeah? Or your mom who is angry at you all the time is like, yeah, my mom doesn't care about me anymore. Also on, yeah, when you see so much of anger, so much thing from your parents, you feel that. Now here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned so many punishment and talking about the crimes and talking about the whole of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People might be thinking, oh, Allah doesn't, na'udhu billah, have any mercy and things like that. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs you of who He is. He is the loving. He loves you. That's why you are getting warning. That's why you're getting informed about. So do not become hopeless of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even though so many things have been mentioned, do not think that this parent who is becoming angry at you, he's not allowing you to play for 4, 5, 6 hours on PlayStation, or he's not allowing you to go to keys, swimming by yourself and things like that. Yeah, do not think that he hates you. It is for the betterment of you. So same thing, that these consequences or these fitnas, the trials, the issues that you're going in this dunya, do not think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates you. Do not think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has neglected you. It is for the betterment of you. It is better for you, because it is from the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will reward you for the things you have done, and He will give punishment to the people for what they did. So the criminals need to come to the existence, and the pious needs to excel with their own hands, with their own deeds. Otherwise, it's not going to be from the adl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, it's not going to be from the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He allows you to go to Jannah and the other person to go to Jahannam. The other guy hasn't done any oppression and you haven't gone through any oppression. Does that make sense? So it needs to happen, and this is from the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is keep on reminding you to come back to Allah, to have hope in Him, that He will protect you, that He will give you honor. And there were many other things, yeah, but continuing further. ذُو الْعَرْشِ الْمَجِيدُ, the owner of the throne, the ever glorious. Now, how do we link this with the previous ayah? It's like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is informing you of His affection, His love for you. Imagine a person, a homeless guy walking in the street tells you he loves you. Yeah, he's very nice. He thinks, I love you. You look very nice and you walk very nice. You are a great man. This is one love. Yeah, someone shows you appreciation. No, not that way, man. Come on. This is appreciation of your stature, of your way of talking. Yeah, meaning, mashallah, you are a brave man. And then someone who is an authority, someone like a prime minister or someone, yeah, or whatever you can imagine, yeah, like an army leader, and he says, you are brave, you are the guy, and you're given a medal and things like that. Which one has more weight in his speech? The one who has authority, yeah? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs you of His authority, that the one who is loving you, the one who is showing you affection, the one who is calling you toward Him, yeah, the one whom you have connection, yuhibbunahum yuhibbuna, the one you love and the one He loves you, it is not someone on a street, na'udhu billah, yeah? He is with an authority. He is not someone that his love, you cannot just compare it with any other love, yeah? It is far more superior than anything you can ever imagine. Does that make sense? How these two ayahs are linked together? Okay. Now find out furthermore of who he is. Understand your Rabb. فَعَّالٌ لِمَا يُرِيد. Effector of what he did, he intends. Yeah? Even though he is loving, he loves you, he wants good for you, he wants no oppression for you and so on. But do not think that now you're not feeling well, yeah, and you want Allah subhanahu to do something for you, he is going to change his ways for you. No. You will be living under him and you're not going to put any conditions on him. He is Ar-Rahim, he is Ghafoor, he is Al-Wadud, yeah, but it does not mean that he is going to change his ways for you. He will do whatever he does. He will remain your master at all time and you remain his servant at all time. Never at any time you will complain and you will become a master over him. Does that make sense? Are we here? Good. And there were other things, yeah. But we're skipping so many things. We're only mentioning one point, and sometimes we don't even mention a point. هل أتاك حديث الجنود? Ayah number 17. Has they reached you the story of the soldiers? Yeah, so this is another example of punishment of this dunya. Do not become deluded by your numbers or your power, your capacities, like Fir'aun, yeah, that has been mentioned next. Fir'aun wa Thamud, Pharaoh and the Thamud. Fir'aun, they knew that this guy had an authority, he had soldiers, he was like, they say, he was like the first leader at the time where he organized to have like a military. Previously it used to be like you send a message to villagers, we got a fight to do, so the men will come together and then you fight and so on. But this guy, he implemented the system of an army. So he was called the people of person of Junud, yeah, people of army. And Thamud, they know how mighty they were. They were living in the ruins near, they were in Hijaz, in the Arab Peninsula, yeah. So they were continuously seeing these. So take heed from them. How Allah subhanahu destroyed them. What are you in comparison to those big guys, yeah? This the Quraysh that are being threatened with. Like, what can you do? They couldn't do anything against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu did not look at the way Allah subhanahu destroyed them. Either by water, some sort of a cry, some sort of wind, tiny things that are surrounding you all the time. So Allah did not even prepare some sort of big army or military power for it. Things which you consider to be harmless, things which you consider to be for your protection, for your need, will become lethal, will become army against you. Does that make sense? So this is your master. This is who you are dealing with. This is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks. بَلِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فِي تَكْذِيبٍ. What was their crime? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us. But they who disbelieved are in persistent denial. So this is takdeeb, has encompasses them. This denial of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses them from all surrounding. Yeah, fi takdeeb. Like it's like being surrounded them. It's like throughout. It's like 360 around them. Everything that is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are in denial of that. So same thing which is coming next. Wallahu min waraihim muhita. While Allah encompasses them from behind, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will encompasses them. Allah's path, Allah's wrath and punishment will come to them from all sorts of direction. So there were other things, leave that. بل هو قرآن مجيد. But this is an honored Quran. Yeah, this is now tasalli, this is comfort to the pious. That this Quran, by saying this is an honored Quran, meaning if someone were to accept or someone to reject, the honor of Quran is not going to go. It is not linked to people, big numbers or small numbers, accepting Quran as an honor. This is not the reason the Quran has. The Quran has an honor. And if you want any honor, you will live under the roof of the Quran. You will live under the Quran, then you will be given honor. And if anyone who comes against it, because this Quran is honored, anyone who is against it will be by by law. He will be the one who is unhonored, because he's standing something which is honored. Yeah. So those people who stand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will illuminate them. So it is an exalted disclosure. It is not something, or the message like we said, yeah, it does not come to you in like a junk paper. It has come with an authority, from an authority, through an authority, which we have discussed in إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ and so on. Furthermore, فِي لَوْحٍ مَحْفُوظ, in a preserved slate. So the protection is given to this book. This book has been protected from all sorts of harms, from all sorts of issues, from all sorts of nuqsan or ziyada, yeah, from kami or ziyati, what they call it in English, man, from adding or removing of anything. It's complete protection is being given to the Quran. So if you want to be protected like Quran, then you need to hold on to the Quran. If you don't want any protection, then do whatever you do, you will not have any protection in this dunya. The wrath and punishment of Allah will come to you, and on the day of judgment, it's going to be a different happy situation for those people. And there were other things, but just end, beginning, and the ending. Oppression on the weak, and at the end is the strength mentioned for the oppressed. So those people who are going through so many oppression and things like that, they can come back to the Quran and hold on to Quran, and this will give them strength. This is the means of strength, basically. This is one way. Protection system of the sama has been mentioned at the beginning, yeah? And now at the end, every single thing is in total control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran has been mentioned. The Quran has been protected and the sama were protected. So everything that's between them, yeah, it is all, everything is being protected in with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mention of the sky, the thing which is benefiting all the creation from from the beginning, yeah, sama, people take rain and so on, these protection system that Allah has created for the earth and so on. People are taking benefit from the sama, yeah, throughout this century. Same thing, Quran is kalamullah, from the words of Allah. Same thing, from the revelation, people have been taking benefit throughout these centuries. So all surah is one coherent statement. May Allah make us understand Quran and bring it in our lives. Jazakallah khair for coming, and sorry for taking a few minutes extra. May Allah give that to you in Jannatul Firdaus, and as an honor for you. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran.